Hi guys and welcome to Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. How are we doing? Right, so today's vlog is all about should have 2019 been the right time to start Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. I'm going to divide it into two sections, but it'll all compile into this vlog. It's not going to be in two parts, as you know people may think. But so was 2019 the right time to start Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs? I think personally 50-50. I think, yes, it was the right time, but then I think it should have been a bit earlier. People probably think, and I've seen a few people comment or a comment on the Facebook page when I put the post out saying I was going to do it as a vlog. Someone put, yes, definitely. And I'm going to probably say that that person is correct. But, you know, I felt like sometimes, yeah, I should have started earlier. So we're going to basically go on to from why I didn't start earlier to obviously the current day. So basically 2019. But obviously, you know, it's now 2023. We're now it's coming up to its fourth year. Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs has been going for like going 4 years as of June this year. I'll go into details about certain bits about why was 2019 the right time, but why it wasn't, or why should it have been earlier, if you know what I mean. So I'll go into rewind the clock back, should we say, and go into the year 2016. People are probably saying, why 2016? Well, let me start here. It is going to be probably a bit of emotional. It's probably going to be me almost crying. So I'm just going to put that out there now, as I talk along the journey from 2016 to 2019. And then obviously I'll talk about why 2019 was the right time to start Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. I don't want you guys to feel sorry and upset. You know, it is part of life, what I'm going to mention. But I know you guys may say sorry for your loss and that in the comment section. I totally appreciate the respect and, you know, the appreciation of kindness, you know. But as I say, it's kind of a hint saying sorry for your loss, and it will feature in the 2016 part as well as 2019 and beyond. So I'll get into that in a moment or two. So yeah, we rewind the clock back to 2016, the start of 2016, so January 2016. Believe it or not, was, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna put this out here, between December 2015, yeah, so 2015, if you call it that, to then January 2016, okay? So between Christmas and then after New Year, okay? So Christmas 2015, January 2016, yeah. So basically, over the Christmas period of 2015, my granddad, my late granddad Bill, yeah, great start. Yeah, my late granddad Bill had dementia in 2015, which, other behold, Jen, who's my partner, some of you guys may have seen Jen's appreciation post on social media. Jen and I went to go and see my nan and granddad in Staffordshire. Obviously, as you can tell with the accent, it's kind of a black country accent. I've got the black country twang picked up from my grandparents because they were originally from the black country in the West Midlands. So Jen and I went to go and see my grandparents in 2015, I believe, after I finished college, because obviously at the time I was going through a tough patch. After I finished college, I was looking for work. I had my contract at the local college where I live terminated as a cleaner because I couldn't cope with the night shift and then going to college at the same time, which was a big kick in the teeth, you know, trying to work, etc. So when I finished college doing mid-level 2 motor vehicle, okay, I might have been 25, 24 at the time. I'm actually 33 now, if you think about it. And I went to go see my nan and granddad because I thought it'd be nice for Jen to go down as well as me to go down because I've not seen them for a good number of years. And I noticed a lot of change in my granddad's dementia, which I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to explain how I feel or how I felt, should I say, at the time. Um, I personally felt really, this isn't right. You know, this isn't my granddad. You know, okay, it's my granddad, but this isn't the granddad I knew. Sort of attitude. You know what I mean? So I remember going to my nan and granddad's house, and we got off the train at Stafford. Okay, because my nan was like, "I'll meet you off the train." I was like, "You don't have to come all the way to come and meet me and Jen off the train." When I used to go before Jen and I got together, when I used to go in the summer holidays when I was living with my dad and my stepmom, I used to go get on the train on my own and go there. My granddad used to meet me off the train, but obviously with his dementia he couldn't drive anymore. My nan decided to get a taxi and then excuse me, and then meet us off the train, which I was kind of like, she shouldn't really have to do that. She's like, you know, late 70s, you know, she doesn't have to come and meet Jen and I off the train. I can easily figure out a way to get from Stafford to where they live, you know, i.e. a bus. But obviously, my nan was like, no, I'll meet you off the train. I want to see you. I want to see you both, you know. And she wrote a letter, which I'll just try and find. Yeah, so I just found the letter. I do apologise if this sounds proper tear jerky, okay? I don't want you guys to get upset. Just checking what time it is. So yeah, so my nan wrote us a letter which to explain certain things, okay? It basically says, "Dear Jennifer and Andrew," so obviously that's my Sunday name. Not Jennifer, that's my other half. But obviously my name's Andrew or Andy or Hoppers, you guys pick whatever you want to call me. Thank you for the lovely photo of you both. Bill, who's my granddad, said it looks like me in the photo, which when she showed it him, which um, kind of brought probably a tear to my eye when I read this letter, and this is what I like to read. But I'm going to read certain bits in the letter. I'm not going to read the whole letter to you guys. But it says in the letter, his dementia is getting worse. He keeps going back into the past. How he used to go to the pub with me. So obviously when I was the legal age of 18, which is the legal age of buying alcohol in the UK. I know it's different around the world. But he keeps going on about. He used to keep going on about when I used to go for a drink with him. Bless him. When we used to go to the pub down the road and stuff like that. You know, when we used to go and get my certificate, when I took him to my graduation, you may have seen that in a vlog. There's a vlog about a bit about me vlog. I think that's exactly what the vlog is called. If you see it, I'm wearing a green 11 degrees t-shirt, so go and check that out. That's got some memories in there, and we were going to book a hotel to stop me nan and granddad having to stress and worry about me and Jen, but my nan was like, no, you can come and stop at theirs, come and stop at their bungalow, and all we had to do was let her know when we were going down. So obviously my nan said that she'd pay for the taxi from the train station or to the station, but yeah, she put like because her handwriting was getting worse as well, and you know she was worried about her hands and stuff like that. But she keeps saying it's old age to herself, and then you know obviously love to us both. And when I got that letter, I was like really happy that I was going to go and see them. And other behold, at the time, you know, after finding, I'll go on to, you know, a bit more about that letter. But yeah, so my granddad's dementia got really worse, and I got to my nan and granddad's, and he said hello to Jen and give her a hug, and then said hello to me. But then in his head, it didn't click who I was, which excuse me, which was a big shame. I was really upset. I was devastated in that, and um, he said hello to Jen. He said hello, Jen, and then he went hello to me, and I was like, why has he just gone hello and not give me a hug? You know, and I laugh about it now because I kind of think, yeah, that's part of his dementia, and you know, and I can remember, obviously, you know, telling him about cars and stuff like that, and you could tell he was with it, but he wasn't, in a sense, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so then fast forward to Christmas that year, 2015. He was in hospital with pneumonia, and potentially because he had a fall at the care home he was in, because my nan ended up breaking her leg and being in hospital because she broke her leg, so she couldn't look after my granddad, which ultimately was a lot of pressure to find out what was going on. So my granddad was in hospital with pneumonia as well as suffering his dementia over Christmas of 2015. Fast forward to 2016, this is where it kind of probably will get a bit emotional, quite severely emotional, should I say. So obviously 2016, January comes around, new year, basically new look into a new perspective of life. I thought, okay, this year is going to be all about what me and Jen want to do. However, 24th of January 2016, so obviously 3 years prior to Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs starting, um, you know, I get a phone call from my brother Dave. You may have heard me mention this in the About Me vlog anyway, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. Jen and I go out to a local wedding fair. We weren't even engaged at the time, believe it or not, but we were going to wedding fairs to get ideas just in case we decided to get engaged and stuff like that. We are engaged now. We've been engaged for quite some time now, as of the current date. So yeah, 24th of January 2016. I get a phone call after falling asleep at Jen's for a bit, because I stopped at Jen's because I was living on my own at the time. I used to go up to Jen's in Windermere for the weekend, just because I didn't want to be spending the weekend on my own, which is rightly so. So we'd gone out to the wedding fair, and I had some tea and then fell asleep for a bit, and then Jen wakes me up saying your phone's going off. I know for a fact my granddad's still in hospital at the time. Other behold, I get the phone call. It's my brother saying my granddad's died. Yeah, my granddad's died. You know, you've had such a good day looking at a wedding fair with Jen to get ideas when you decide to get married, and then it comes crashing down because you find out your granddad's passed away, which doesn't help. It doesn't add up, does it? So I have a high of a low of emotion. I remember getting off the phone to my brother. I remember processing it for a couple of seconds. The next minute, I burst out crying, saying he's gone. Jen's mum's asking what's the matter. I said my granddad's died. I have to go and have a bath and then have a cup of tea. I'm lying awake till whatever time at night when Jen's asleep, thinking, is this really happened? You know. So fast forward the clock to the end of March 2016 to 31st of March. Other behold, I'm out with Jen at the time, trying to, you know, process what's been going on over the last couple of months. And I get a phone call off my dad in the afternoon to say my nan had died. Which, as you can tell, after 2 months after losing my granddad, it's like, what the hell's going on? Twice my life turned upside down. So, with that in mind, at the time, I was all over the place. My mind was, you know, not thinking straight. I just recently, September 2015, I started a new job where I am now. So, still in the cleaning profession, but where I am now, I've been there 7 years, maybe 8 years this year. And I remember just 2 months after my granddad died, my nan dies. Excuse me. And I was thinking, this isn't great. It's put turmoil, it's put my world into a load of emotions. My world is upside down. I'm waking up thinking wish it never happened, but unfortunately it has happened. And it's a reason why Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs didn't start in 2016. At the time I was learning to drive. Yeah, that is right, I was learning to drive. I didn't want to give up the driving lessons because I wanted to do it for my nan and granddad. And obviously, it took its toll eventually. Having both my grandparents pass away within 2 months, for months, I still, and to this day forward, I still really get upset. I sometimes wish it never happened. I try not to show the emotion quite a lot, as you can tell on camera. So yeah, Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs didn't start 2016, which I went to the British Touring Cars at Alton Park. I took Jen for the first time. Jen's never been to BTCC before, should I say, before 2016. Jen went to Alton Park with myself and my dad, which was quite a nice day. We got sunburnt though, which is it was really a nice day though, watching the touring cars for the first time in how many years, because I've not been prior to since Croft 2011 was my last meeting. I didn't go obviously due to multiple reasons, but I'm not going to go into them reasons. But 2016, Jen and I went. Jen went for the first time, and then she enjoyed it. And then, as I'm about to say now, 2018. So we'll skip 2017. 2017 was a bit of a high and a low emotions. A bit of a high and low emotions, but we'll excuse me. We'll briefly touch on 2017. Yeah, so 2017, I was going through a high and low emotions with the driving side of my life. I was doing my driving tests. I got up to my driving tests in 2017, so a year into my nan and granddad's deaths. I got into doing my driving tests, and the first driving test I did, I failed because I didn't look round after emergency stop. That was the only problem. The rest of the test was fine. If I had looked round after the emergency stop, I probably, and I repeat, probably would have passed first time. However, I didn't, which was annoying for me. And my examiner, the instructor that I was with, he's like, "Oh mate, you missed out on passing first time. The rest was fine. You could have passed first time. It would have been really good for me, and it would have been good for you." However, I took the test again a couple of months later, failed again. I was like, same examiner that I had that failed me first time, failed me again. But I'm not going to go into great details about that. And then third attempt in the summer of 2017, I passed the third time. So I was over the moon with that. But then 2017, Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs didn't start. So, these are the reasons why it didn't start. 2018, I had planned, because it's been a year since I passed my driving test, and people are probably going to think I'm bleeding mad for this, or really silly, or stupid, or probably be crazy. 2018, I was thinking, of going up to Knockhill in Scotland, which is a track I need to tick off the touring car list to complete the 10 calendar rounds. But obviously one of them is repeated. Well, two of them were repeated this year's Donington and of course Brands Hatch. They're both repeated, but two of the remaining tracks out of the 10 that the touring cars visit is obviously Silverstone and of course Knockhill. And I thought 2018 would have been an idea to go from here, where I am in Cumbria, up to Edinburgh, and then hire a car from Edinburgh up to Knockhill for the weekend for the British Touring Cars. However, I soon talked myself out of it. The anxiety of doing that, because I've not been driving, I don't have access to a car. That idea then got scrapped. Stupidly said to myself, well, how am I going to afford train fare, hotel fare, well, hotels, car hire, petrol, as well as spending money, as well as touring car tickets. I was like, that's going to be too much of a cost. So I scrapped the whole idea, because I potentially worked myself up worrying about costage. So 2018 Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs wasn't started. However, I was on the brink of, I turned 29 in 2018. So I was like, right, okay, for when I turn 30, I want to do something big. So this is why Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs didn't start earlier than planned. Now we're getting into why it started. So 2019 came around then. So we had 2019 approaching, I'll say mid-February for 2019. The Snetterton weekend, the BTCC weekend, that was in August in 2019. This started to become sort of a reality now. It sort of became, this is exactly what we can achieve. You may have seen last week that I did the vlog about going to Snetterton and how crazy it was, and how, you know, how close I was to nearly calling that off as well. And I think it surprised a few people. But 2019 came around, and Snetterton weekend, in February, touring car tickets were booked, hotel was booked, train tickets were booked. That was done and dusted by February 2019. So in the process of doing that, over the remaining months, so March, April, May, June, even July, Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs started slowly appearing. It got to a point in June of 2019 where I started the Facebook page, which the link will be to that in the description very soon when this vlog's out. So yeah, I started up Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs, and I potentially got into watching car vlogs on YouTube prior to starting my own YouTube. I did have the YouTube channel originally, but it was known as Hoppers Gaming or something. Excuse me while I itch my eyebrow. But yeah, Hoppers Gaming was the first thing that it was there. It was just showing video clips that I recorded from my camera phone or the Xbox video recorder thing on there. But I changed it to Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. I got rid of the game side of things. But yeah, so I was watching car vlogs, and then I got into it, and I thought, oh, this is going to be really good to show the world Snetterton BTCC weekend, which, by the way, was a class weekend. If you've not seen that vlog, go and check it out. If you've not seen the unseen footage from Snetterton, go and check that out as well. Which I did the unseen footage, so you guys get to see exactly what actually really went on prior to the Paul O'Neill interview. Not the interview, the introduction. So you get to see that, and also me introducing the vlog. But we got Paul O'Neill to introduce the vlog, which was 10 times better. But yeah, so 2019 Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs became a massive sort of a project for me to do. It came within a couple of weeks prior to going to Snetterton. I remember the first time I did a live Q&A for the first live video of Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs at 8 o'clock in the morning. I was living on my own, funny enough, and I had a crap night's sleep the night before, but I was still up for 8 o'clock in the morning to do a live Q&A. It was a Friday morning, and I remember just doing a live Q&A, and then since then progressed into doing live videos talking about motorsport, talking about British touring cars, and it soon kicked off. It soon kicked off the project. As I say, it's actually 3 years and how many months old at the moment, and you know, no one prepared us for what 2020 was going to bring. I remember I turned 30 in 2019, and I remember seeing a present or a voucher for the passenger ride in the Palmer Jaguar at Alton Park. Other behold, Jen and the family got it me for my 30th birthday. They thought, oh, he's going to really enjoy that. You know, it's something, especially when he's doing his motorsport vlogs now, it'll probably help him get more better at doing his vlogs. And however, with regret, I couldn't do him on board footage of the passenger ride, which I was kind of gutted about, but I could have kind of understood if the GoPro got broke or it had a lot of interest within a lot of interest to do with putting a lot of strain doing the passenger ride. So the passenger ride was in 2020, but you know, I got that as a 30th birthday present. I was quite amazed that I was like, yes, this is going to be good. This is going to get more viewers onto Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs on the YouTube side, and then more people on the Facebook side as well as Instagram, Twitter, you name it, whatever we're on. And I remember 2020 come around, so Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs was also one of a huge amount of, what do you call it, a huge amount of whirlwind of adventure, you know. Yeah, so Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs kick-started in 2019 is what I'm trying to say. It was the best thing I ever did, and I don't regret not doing it earlier, because if I did it earlier, I'd have been facing leaps and bounds, and I've been having a lot of, probably a roller coaster of emotion. So I'm glad I didn't start Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs earlier on than planned. Part of me wishes I did, but then it would have been interrupted with so many stuff going on. So 2020 then, of coming up to the first year of Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs being officially my project. No one prepared us for the coronavirus pandemic. This is probably going to be a bit of a rant and a rave, so if you don't appreciate this bit, I do apologise. But I know some people probably may say, Hoppers, you are fine, crack on, you know what I mean. So I eventually started Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs in 2019, as I said. 2020, no one prepared us for the coronavirus pandemic. This is where I feel like I am going to have a bit of a rant, and I don't want you guys to get offended or annoyed. But when 2020 came around with the COVID pandemic, and it was in China, and it started in China, I've got no disrespect for what goes on in the world. However, when people were travelling to places like Europe, and then it eventually came over here, when it came over here, it kind of shook the world. It kind of shook the United Kingdom. And I remember thinking to myself, this isn't going to be good. This is actually going to really put a lot of strain and pressure on motorsport in England. And I was like, this isn't going to be good. This is going to be really not the way forward. You could tell week by week as things were going on with the COVID pandemic, the deaths, and as well as a lot more rate of infection was growing in the UK. I remember saying to myself, you know, it's now the day before Media Day, so British Touring Car Media Day, um, at Silverstone. Fans were allowed to attend as well as media. I think they were trying to get fans to get closer because fans were saying, well, it's a bit unfair. It's called Media Day, but only people that are media personnel can go. We wouldn't have gone as an amateur vlogger. That shows exactly how disappointing that would have been if it was just for media. But they were on about inviting fans. However, the day before Media Day, they sent out a message saying and sent out an email to people that purchased an e-ticket for tomorrow's Media Day. It is not going to be happening. It is going to be behind closed doors. It is only going to be allowed certain personnel, i.e. teams, drivers, and certain people of media. And that showed how severe the COVID pandemic was getting. And I remember saying to myself, this isn't looking good. On the day after, a couple of days after Media Day, or after a couple of days after Media Day, Boris Johnson, who was in charge of the country, the Prime Minister at the time, announced a national-wide lockdown of the country. So non-essential shops weren't allowed to open. Schools had to be closed unless they had special reasons. Public transport, you had to wear a mask, you had to sanitize, and it got severe. It got seriously bad. I'm gonna say, it didn't get like it got serious. It got really serious, and I remember thinking, well, this isn't looking good. So then you're looking on various motorsport websites such as motorsport.com, autosport.com. You're looking on btcc.net. You're looking what's going on with the world of motorsport. Other behold, there's a breaking news headline on touringcartimes.com. British Touring Car Championship postponed due to the start of the season, postponed due to the start of the coronavirus pandemic. And I'm like, for sake, here we go. Motorsport this year is a complete write-off. Then I get an email in April. I booked the passenger ride for April. I get an email saying that's not going to happen due to lockdown. And I'm like, this is bad. This is not what we want. We're looking forward to doing a vlog. When's it going to happen? So, coming around to certain times of COVID lockdown, I ran a Dirt 2 competition. So that's Dirt Rally 2 on Xbox, the 2.0 game on Xbox One, PlayStation, PC. I ran that to keep people going. I went live twice a week on the Facebook page to keep people informed and keep people entertained, should we say. And then the summer of 2020 became the start of the British Touring Car season. So in August, it started at Donington. It was going to end sort of mid-November. However, they said the whole event will be, and I repeat, will be behind closed doors, which was really I couldn't understand why they did it. But if you think about it, watching it on telly at home when you're stuck in a national lockdown, slowly but surely over time lockdown was getting eased, but then back during the Christmas period back into lockdown, and it was like, this isn't good. Luckily 2020, Jen and I decided to have Christmas here because it was safer, and then 2020, then obviously October time, I managed to do the passenger ride, which I was happy with. I managed to get that done. However, 2021 started British Touring Car season. the first round at Thruxton in 2021 was behind closed doors because we're still in a lockdown, essentially. And then come to the next meeting, I think it was Snetterton or Brands, I can't remember, it was one of the two. They're allowing 4,000 fans each day. That's right, 4,000 fans each day at Brands and Snetterton. And then after that, as of Oulton Park onwards in 2021, they were allowing full capacity fans, which to me was a brilliant way of, because lockdown was easing, you know, restrictions were easing. We didn't really want to be facing another couple of lockdowns, etc., and being told, oh, it's only 4,000 fans, so it's first come first serve sort of attitude. And I remember going to Croft 2021. I had my mask just in case. I was visiting spaces where there was a lot of people, and I felt kind of happy that I was there, but at the same time I kind of felt like it's a bit weird after COVID restrictions have been lifted. You know, I wore a mask, potentially looked after myself, you know, and yeah, it kind of 2020 hampered a lot of Hoppers Motorsport vlogs. We had big vlogs lined up. However, you know, it wasn't to be. Yes, we did the passenger ride. 2021 was Croft. Last year, there's no motorsport vlogs been thrown on there, which is a big shame. And this year it's getting bigger and better. Can't go into details, but yes, I think 2019 was the right time to start Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs. So yes, guys, I hope you really enjoyed this vlog. I hope you really take some information from it. I hope to see you very soon for another vlog. Not too sure what the next vlog's going to be. I've got to think of some ideas, but I will see you in the next one. Please do like and subscribe to Hoppers Motorsport Vlogs and click the notification bell. If you did like this video, please do give it a thumbs up, and please do leave us a comment. If you didn't and you didn't agree with some of the stuff I said, please do put a thumbs down, and please let us know why in the comments. I'm not going to be offended. I'm all for it. I'm not here for negativity. Well, I'm here for negativity and positivity. It does not matter how you guys feel. But if you have enjoyed the vlog, thank you. If you haven't, it's okay. I don't mind. But yes, guys, thank you for tuning in. Take care, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Ta-ra.